This is the third video in a series of how to make a small box. The first video was about how to measure, and the second video was about how to cut the small box. But hopefully at this stage you have now got all your pieces cut and that are square. Now at the end of this session, you should be able to, at the end of the next video, you should be able to have the box just like this, put together. That's what we're doing. That's what our whole aim is. Hopefully you've shown the teacher and you've got each piece checked off, and make sure that each piece is the same length, because if each piece wasn't the same length, you'd have it together and you have a box that, I don't know if you can really see, but it looks like this. You can see how it's not square. In fact, when I pull this slider out, you can see it's not a square box. And so what you need to make sure that every piece is exactly square. Now, so before you even go to assemble it, I want you to show either myself or Mr. Vaughan, or whoever's the teacher is there, and to make sure that each end is square, that each end is exactly the same length. You'll see here, these are my two sides, and they're exactly the same length. You can just see that. And the two end pieces, they are exactly the same length. Now, so when I put that together, this box should be square. So now what we're doing now, we're actually going to set up for assembly. It's like a footballer. When they go to line up for goal, when they get the football, they don't just blaze away at the goals. They actually line up for goal. So what we do, you're actually setting up for assembly. So you're setting up for it. Now, our timber here that you're using is 12 millimetres thick. Now, the whole aim of it, you want the nail to go through the centre of this piece of wood. So you're going to be nailing this piece of wood here onto this one. Right, so you want the nail to go right in the middle. Now, if the piece of wood here is 12 millimetres thick, the centre part of this piece of wood is actually going to be 6 millimetres away from the edge. So what we need to do is to draw a line on the piece of wood that you want to attach it to, onto this one here, 6 millimetres in from the end. So I'm just going to do that. Put the ruler there, and come in 6 millimetres. Then draw a line with a square. See how I've got the square running right up against the side there? Draw a line like that, right across. Line's probably a little bit dark, the pencil's probably a little bit thick, so possibly if you can get a thinner pencil or finer pencil, you can probably use that. So same thing happens over here. You measure in 6 millimetres. You'll see here, measure in 6 millimetres. Just like that. And just draw a light line across. The reason why I say do a light line is because if you do a thick line, it means you've got more to take off. Just do a nice line like that. And just see that line there. And do the same thing on the other end. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you another method of measuring. Instead of using the square, what you can do, you put your finger like this, up against it like that, and you can sort of measure roughly where that line is. Then you can go into this piece of wood here, and just run the pencil just along here like this. And you've got a fairly straight line. Just like there. Now, what you can do now, then you have to set up where you want to put your nails. Now I suggest that you come in 15 millimetres from each end, then put a nail in the middle. So, coming in 15 millimetres here, measure 15 from that side there, and measure another 15 millimetres from this side, and then put one in the middle, just like that. Now this timber is 90 millimetres wide, and so the centre of that is going to be 45 millimetres. So same thing, come in 15 millimetres, put one in the middle, that's at 45, then you come back 15 millimetres from this side. And do so you've got to just see that there. So then you've got to do the same thing here on this other one. So 15, 45, then you come back in 15 on this side. So again, you've got that like that. And on the other end of this other piece, 15, 45, and come back in 15. So again, you've got all that. So we've now got all that timber, you see here, all marked out and ready to be assembled. Now, we have to select as to what sort of size nail we use. If a timber is 12 millimeters thick, the nail you need to use is twice that thickness, and so that means you need a nail at least 24 millimeters wide. Nails don't come 24 millimeters wide, so what we've done, got some 25 millimeter nails. And you see in the boxes over there, it says 25 mils. Now let's move this down here. I'll show you how to put these things in now. The idea is to set up what you're not actually going to be assembling the box together. You're just going to be putting the nails in. Now you don't want to put the nails all the way through. So you just want to put the nails sort of setting up and we're getting ready to assemble. There's one nail like that. Now I'm not going all the way through, I'm just going most of the way in. And so it should be just about coming through on the other side. So again, right there. And another one here. And another one here. Now, one of the issues that if you have a nail that's too long, if you're using a nail that's too long, you know, what could happen is when you actually go to assemble your box, the nail could come out the other side of the box. Or you could, it's more likely to have a mistake. I've seen students do that, they'll pick a long nail, but the long nail think it's going to hold better, or it doesn't actually hold better. It's likely to actually split the timber. So again, there are 6 nails put in here, another one's gone in there. And as you're nailing, you're concentrating, you're actually nailing straight. Now, the hammer, we have many types of hammers. I've chosen to use a cross-peen hammer. I feel that's just really a well-weighted hammer. There's other smaller hammers that we have here, and there's also larger ones. The problem is with the larger ones, especially at year 7, you haven't quite got the control on the arms to use the hammer. And the lighter ones, they don't have as much of a punch as what these ones do. So this is my favourite type of hammer to use. If you can't find any, see Mr. Vaughan, see myself, and we'll be able to help you find where they are. However, I think we only have 10 of the cross-peen hammers, and so you might just have to wait until someone finishes. And you'll see then you can occasionally hit your thumb. That does happen. Now, the last one going in. So, just back up here. So now, we've got these things here. We're pretty much ready to assemble. Now, that was fairly easy. Now, this is really good if you're using pine. One of the issues is if you're not using pine, if you're using a hardwood like Victorian ash or Jarrah, you can't just go through and just hammer a nail in. So it might happen with Jarrah. I'm just going to do a bit of a demonstration and see what might happen. Just drop a nail into Jarrah. That's actually going in. Often when you put nails into Jarrah, it often splits the timber and often bends the nails. So what I'm going to do, what you normally do when you do into Jarrah, you actually drill a hole through the middle of it. So do a pilot hole. So I'm just going to, Mr. Vaughan will be able to show you, or myself, I'll be able to show you. So what you do, you have a drilling machine here, and with a nail, so that drill's got a nail in it, and if you just mark where you want to do it, and you just drill the nail through like this, and then you can put a hammer into it, just like that. So it's the same thing, except you have to drill through it. Now that's only if you've got Vic Ash or Jarrah as well. So all the other timber like pine, you can just put a nail in, just like I did at the start. Harry, you can put a nail through it. Really the hardwoods like Jarrah and Vic Ash, it's very difficult to put a nail through it. Now, if you like this video, press the like button. Better still, subscribe.